Good morning, I'm Peter Milios from the Finance News Network. Investors are bracing for a 1-2 punch on inflation in the coming days, starting with tomorrow's Consumer Price Index data and Thursday's Producer Price Index. The two reports will be the biggest readings on the inflation ahead of the Fed's next interest rate decision on May the 3rd. Overnight, the S&P 500 ended Tuesday's session flat as investors prepared for the release of key inflation data later this week. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 0.3%. Meanwhile, the Nasdaq Composite shed 0.4%. Material stocks were higher, with the US-listed shares of both BHP and Rio rallying at 1 point more than 4%, despite recent signs of weakness from the Chinese and US economies. Glencore also gained as its CEO met with shareholders in Teck Resources in Toronto to garner support for a proposed takeover and a Newmont's revised higher bid for Newcrest Mining, signalling renewed merger and acquisition activity for the sector. Wall Street is heading toward another session of earnings announcements, with several major US banks scheduled to release their earnings reports for the first time since the bank crises in March. JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo and Citigroup are set to report on Friday. BlackRock and United Health Group are also scheduled to report. And Blackstone has raised $30.4 billion for its latest real estate fund called Blackstone Real Estate Partners X, which is 48% bigger than the asset management giant's previous real estate fund, which closed in 2019. Blackstone has been focusing its portfolio on logistics, rental housing, hospitality, lab office and data centers, shifting away from assets like traditional office and malls that are facing headwinds from a post-pandemic adoption of flexible work and a surge in e-commerce. Overall, almost all S&P 500 sectors closed higher. Energy was the standout, whilst technology and communication services were the only two lagging. The SPI futures are pointing to a 0.4% gain. Thank you for listening.